My name is Nita, as usual, your physical and online instructor. So welcome to our Macadel sewing class. All right, so I'm going to be cutting the pattern we had done earlier. So this is it. I've placed it on the fabric. I've added all my allowances and I'm going to be cutting out. So I'm going to cut out all the pieces and then I'm going to show you what it looks like before we move on to the sewing table. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Just click on that red button right by you. Show me some love, and those that have, I'm very grateful. All right, I appreciate it, and will bring more of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to cut all the pieces that we had earlier shown in the other class, and then I'll show you what they look like, and then we'll go to the sewing table. Okay guys, so I've been able to cut out everything we need to sew. So what I did was to cut this out with lining. Okay, mind you, my fabric is actually soft, so because it's soft I need to just add fabric to it. Okay, so this is the back that comes with the lining, this is the front, it also comes with the lining, and this is the part that we're going to gather to fix back in here to give us the cuff at that point. All right, so this is our darts. I've also created that. So that's the top part, and then this is the flare part. So this part is the front. Remember I said we're having a slit here at this point, so I've cut and marked that, so we'll be joining this together, but that is flare. So this is the front piece and this is the back piece, is also flare. It's cut on flare as well. Okay, remember we have taken off our dart, so our pattern pieces are all ready and it's time to get on the sewing machine. All right, so I'll see you on the sewing machine. So that's it. So it's ready. Okay, so now we are getting on the sewing machine. So the first thing we're going to do is sew our darts. That's for the back top part, and for the front we'll close up this dart as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing at this moment. Okay, so I'll take out the pattern on it, and I'm marking. I'm gonna chalk now. I'm trying to mark my lining. Please always mark your right side, wrong side, so you don't get it mixed up. So the first thing we're going to start with is to sew up our darts. Okay, so that's for the middle piece. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm going to stitch the darts both on the main fabric, and I'm going to do same on the lining fabric, just like so. All right, so close up all your darts. Anywhere you had a dart, like I had said, this class is not really for newbies, but if you're a newbie you can actually follow suit. Just rewind, watch it over and over, and it's as easy as anything to understand. Okay, so here I have stitched my darts and it's all looking beautiful. Okay, look at this, it's sitting pretty. I wish I had used the plain fabric, so you could see better, but this is what I had and needed to use something immediately. So I'm opening up my darts. It's good to do that if yours is not open. Mine wasn't open, so yours could be open, and you stitch. So you're going to do the same thing to this lining piece as well. Okay, so now for the back too, you're going to be sewing close your dart. So like I said earlier, please close all your darts. So that's what I'm doing here now, stitching my back dart. So whatever you're doing on the main pattern, you're going to do same on the lining piece or the main piece. You're going to do same. It's English here, it's not easy. On the lining piece. Okay, so I'm done. Now this is the bust part. Remember the part we did slash and spread. Okay, So you know we're going to have gathers on the down part, but the top part and the middle part, the CF here, we're going to stitch it close. Okay, so I'll be stitching this part close first of all, just to neaten it, so that when you're wearing it, like, of course you need to neaten that center part, so stitch this part, and then you're going to stitch here as well, the top part at half of an inch or whatever you kept, for your allowance. Okay, okay, so I was just arranging this properly. Pin your work. It's always good to pin so it doesn't move. So I'll stitch this. Like I said, stitch. When you're stitching, please, at the top part, I'm going to mark it. Leave half an inch. You can feed in your rope anyhow you want it. You can fold a bias down, but I am closing it. So I'm leaving half an inch. See, half. Just half. Where this metal stops is half. Okay, so just leave half an inch. So when you're sewing up, before you get to the end, see where I'm marking, you stop there, then leave the half an inch space open before you stitch it again. So you see the where, so you're sewing here close, leave this open and then sew down. That's exactly what you're going to do. Because when you flip it around, that is where we are going to be feeding in the tie rope that we're going to be tying, using to tie. All right, so please here don't stitch. I moved it and then I completed my stitching. So having done this part, I'll now stitch this way. So you see that place I didn't stitch, it is open, so that I can feed my rope in there. Okay, then I'll stitch this way as well. So just run your stitch, and then we are going to turn it to the right side. It's a very interesting dress to make, and it was fun all the way. Okay, so having done this, you can do your notches if you need to, cut that corner and then flip your fabric to the other side. Okay, so now pin it back. We're going to sew the top. We're not top stitching. I'm sewing half an inch down to create a space for my rope that I'm going to pass through it, my tie rope. Okay, so I'm just stitching half an inch down. Please, from the top, come down half an inch and then stitch. That way the space there is actually open where you're going to feed in your rope. So now we're going to run my gather stitches. So move your knot to the number 5. If you're using an industrial machine, that's your gather stitches. And then you're going to sew the running. Gather stitches, running stitches is still the same thing. Okay, so just sew the loose stitch on the loose stitch setting, because that's where you're going to actually pull to gather it. Remember, we are working with the bust part of this. Okay, so for me, because when I'm pulling, I just like marking the center before I start pulling, so that way I just like get an equal part of where I'm working with. So that's basically what I do. So you pull lightly like this, pick up one of the threads, and then tug at your fabric gently, not too, because if it cuts, you're going to start all over again. Okay, so I'm pulling it to create the gathers for the cup, and you're going to see, look at that. So by the time you add a rope to it, it's going to be different. So I've done it for the two sides, and we are now going to put on the middle part of it. Okay, so before then, this is our rope. Please, you're going to cut your rope. What I did was 1.5 width, and then the length, I did about 25 to 30 inches. You can choose any length. Your rope is as long as you want it. But please, the width, I did 1.5. You can do less than that. I'm going to, flip it over, like fold it into two, and then stitch. I'm going to stitch it and then pull it out to the right side. That's why I chose 1.5, okay? Now, there's a trick I use to pull my rope easily. People do it, they use sewing needles, they use safety pins, but I take a cord, just like I'm doing now. Look at this Shambhala cord, and I put it right inside. I will stitch to hold it down first, just like so, okay? And then I will turn it over to now sew on the lengthwise after stitching it down like this. All right. So now when you're turning it, please push the cord right inside. Don't make sure that your machine is not, stitching on it. So your machine is just stitching on the fabric to hold it down, maybe at a quarter of an inch, depending on what you kept. And then you just keep sewing all the way. And when you're done, look at this. You just use it and pull it out. Easy. And as I now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Do so. Show me some love, encourage me on this journey, and do same. So I've done the two ropes now that we're going to use to feed in here. Okay. So once you put in this rope in here, you're going to use it as your gathers for the top of the bustier. All right. Okay, so just use a pin, a safety pin. Apart from a safety pin, I think there's this other tool now that you can actually use to feed in your rope. All right, I don't know, but they sell it everywhere. Mostly Rookie Lawal sells that because I buy lots from her anyway. So, but if you don't have that, your safety pin is easily accessible. So after pushing it in, I will stitch it to hold it down at the armhole part. And look at that. It's ready. So now I'm going to work on the down part. So I'm keeping the lining aside and I'm going to attach that cup part, this cup part, to the center part. All right. So this is the midpoint. Please target it. Place one of it directly from that point and you're going to pin it down and you're going to stitch it all round. Haven't stitched, but I've pinned. So you're going to do same to this side. You're going to stitch just like this. So you do same to this side and you're going to do same to the other side as well. Okay. So now we'll stitch it down and you're going to see how it comes out. Just stitch it all the way. Please, while you're stitching, try to arrange your gathers. It's very important. Okay. And I'm going to do same to the other piece of the bustier as well. Just follow suit. It's actually so very easy to get it done. Okay, so look at this. We're done and it's looking pretty. Yay. So you're now putting in your lining. Flip this over, place your lining. Now you're like tucking in this bustier part in between your lining and your fabric. All right, so you're still going to use the stitches you used to join before. Follow that stitches and then still sew your lining so that way it's tucked in. You're having a very neat finish. That's the essence of this. So I'm going to stitch this way all the way to the end and you're going to see the look, so I'm done stitching and look at this. So you have a clean inside. That's just what we're looking for, isn't it? Okay, so now we're done with this. Look at my rope. Look at it sitting pretty. We're going to move to work on the back neckline. Okay, so we can keep this aside and then get to work on the back. So this is a back piece. You're going to sew the lining over it at the top part. Just, like we neatened the top part of the bustier. All right. So you're going to do the same thing. So here, have you seen how I'm placing this lining? That is how, and then you sew it and turn. When you sew, turn, top stitch, just like you do with your normal outfit. That's what you're going to be doing here. So I'm just going to be sewing on the top part like so. And whatever you're doing to this side, you're going to do same to the other side. And don't forget to top stitch. Okay. So when I say top stitch, this is what I mean. So please top stitch it. Okay. So once you're done top stitching, you can now close it back and then we are done. Okay, so make sure that you cut off your threads and this is what it will look like. Okay, so this is the two back. Now you're going to bring the front, place it over it, just like so. and then you're going to stitch on the sides. All right, I'm sure you do know how to do this. Now if you want to seal it, you can actually take them one after the other, right? So you can take your main fabric, seal it separately, take your lining, seal it separately. But I don't want to, because I mean, if I have to make any adjustments, it's easier for me this way. Okay, so just sew on it like I've done. Place the back on the front, place the other back over the front, and stitch both of them down just like so. And the top part of it is kind of ready once you're done with this. Okay, so I'm just trying to arrange it to make sure that it stays well, and then I'm stitching at 1 inch. Don't forget, please stitch off whatever you kept, and then if you're that person that takes measurements before stitching, do so. Now this is what it looks like when you are done. See how it's sitting pretty already. All right, so now we move over to the skirt part. Remember, the front has a slit, and that is what you're seeing at the moment. Okay, so you're going to join these two parts together just like so. Okay, so I'll take off the pattern papers, and this is what we have. So you take one piece, join it to this part, the other one, join it to the other part. That's exactly how we had cut it. I always say whatever you do on the pattern is the same thing you're going to translate to your main fabric. All right, so the part I'm having a slit. Remember I said we're having a slit. You don't have to have a slit to yours. So I'm going to just sew down to the point of that slit. Don't forget. Now this is where my slit is going to be, exactly here. Okay, so my stitch is going to stop just right at that point. Okay, after then you can now neaten that part. So now whatever you've done to this part, please do same to the other side as well. And this is what it looks like. All right, so I've joined the parts that were like that. Now I'm taking the back and I'm going to join both on the sides. Okay, now I need just one opening, which is at my zip part, because if you looked at the top we have just one opening, which is at the back. Okay, for the zip. So this skirt, we're going to join them on the sides. I mean, just join it like you join your skirt. It's a normal thing. Okay, so we're like kind of having a top here, and then the down part. Now we're going to join it this way. So you're joining the top to the skirt after you've made the skirt a whole one piece. All right, so you're just going to stitch this. You can enclose it if you want to have a lining to your skirt. Please go ahead and do so. You can have a short lining, right? That way the whole of your inside stays as neat as you want it to be. And if you don't want to, please go ahead and follow suit just like I'm doing. Okay, so I'm done stitching the up part to the down part, and I have just one opening, like I said, which is my zip part. Okay, please cut off your threads like I used to say. Don't leave them hanging. So the next thing we're going to be doing here is fixing in our sleeves. Okay, good. I already love this outfit. The Milkmaid dress is just something else. So the zip is going to come in and the sleeve, and we're almost done. It's as easy as it goes, So this is a sleeve. I know you guys can actually do your sleeves, and if you cannot, please leave a comment for me in the comment section right below and tell me that you want me to show you how to make the sleeves, and I'll gladly do so. I'm always responding. But I think this is pretty easy. So what I did with the sleeves was just a slash and spread. You can actually use any kind of sleeves that you want, a short sleeve, a long sleeve, whatever you want. All right, so now look at my sleeves. They're sitting pretty, really, really pretty. All right, so please sew yours, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do so. Show me some love. So you're going to fix your zip, and I also believe that you know how to. And if you haven't, please watch my other videos. I have videos where that shows you how to fix your zip. So I'll do this and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so now my sleeves are done and my zip is fixed. Can you see how this is looking? Please don't forget, because you have that cut, make sure that it aligns, and it will make your dress look absolutely beautiful. All right, so guys, make yours and let me see. I'm loving this, and I'm sure you saw a video of me wearing it, and really it was so nice. Okay, and for those that have subscribed to my channel, I want to say thank you. I'm so grateful. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe And if you don't understand this, leave a comment for me on the comment section below, and I will answer you whenever I come online. Thank you guys. I love you loads. To have a blessed day and see you in my next video. My name remains Nita, your physical and online instructor. Bye.